Well, I'm Kenny Lowry, and today we're going to talk a little bit about receiving your shipment, how to move the items that are in the shipment, that kind of thing. Also, I'm going to go over some of the options there that are on the freight. Most everything we ship is going to come on a pallet. It could look like this, it could look like that, it could be bigger shipment like that that's in a box. This is your basin, and then whatever fountain is set up in that. This one, the basin's kind of, the fountain's in the middle and the basin's over. So whatever way we determine is the best way to ship that, that's the way we're going to pack it. So I'm going to go over a couple things here. One of the options is business delivery. So in other words, this is a business, it gets picked up here, it goes to another business. That business has a loading dock or forklift or something. So it's business to business rate. Not all businesses qualify on the receiving end of that. If you're working out of your house, you may or may not qualify as a business, and it's not up to us, it's up to the freight company. So with the freight company, if you tell us it's a business and we give you the business rate, and the freight company does a delivery there and they've determined you're a limited access business or a home-based business, they're going to kick that rate up higher, and then we're going to come back and charge you the difference. We do not make any money on the freight. We don't have any markup on that freight. We get like a 90% discount because of the volume we ship, and we pass that on to you. So if there's an additional charge, as we state on the email, we're going to pass that on to you. So it's going to be up to the freight company to make that determination. Basically what they're doing is they're trying, it's all about time. If they're delivering to a house, it takes longer than it is to a business. Businesses are in there, they have a forklift or whatever, and they take it off and the truck driver's gone. In a house or a residential limited access business, which is like a school or a church or something like that, it's going to take them more time, so they're going to charge more for that. So business delivery is business to business. Dock pickup, if you have a freight terminal, especially if you're in a city and the freight company may have a terminal there on the perimeter of that city or somewhere, you can opt to go there and pick it up. So they'll have it sitting there at the dock. You go there in your pickup truck, whatever it is you got, and you can pick it up that way. They're not going to break down the shipment and load it for you. If you're going to do that, you're going to have to do that yourself. The freight company has got it on a pallet, and that's the way that they're going to deliver it. Limited access is for businesses such as farms, churches, schools, construction sites, military bases, gated communities, hospitals, things like that will get kicked over into limited access delivery. So that's one of the options on there. Residential delivery. It's usually going to come what's called curbside. So they're going to come in a tractor trailer if a tractor trailer can get to your house. If he can't get to your house, if it's a curb in there somewhere, it's a great big truck. So if he determines he can't get in there, then he's not going to be able to do that residential delivery. They may have to put it down to a smaller truck and then deliver it on that smaller truck, and there may be an additional fee for that. So curbside means he'll drop it as close to your curb as he can. Doesn't mean he's going to take it up to your garage. He's going to drop it curbside. Curbside is considered the nearest point off of a main road. They're not going to go up a private driveway. They're not going to go down a gravel driveway. It's going to be what they can get as close from a public road to your private road. So that's curbside. If you opt for a lift gate's going to be on a tractor and trailer. He'll have a pallet jack, he'll wheel that to the back, lift gate lowers it down, he pulls it off the lift gate, there it is. So that's typically what you do, and I'm going to show you how to maybe move some of these. Once you get it down on the ground, you can break open your shipment and move it with a dolly, and I'll show you that here in a minute. Also, when you receive it, check it, make sure if you see any damage, if you see the shrink wrap torn, if you see a gouge where maybe a fork went into it, that's something you're going to want to take, note on the freight documents that you received it, and you're going to note on there damage on the outside of the pallet. Now, the truck driver is probably not going to want to hang around all day while you're or for an hour or more, whatever it takes you to unpack your shipment. So he's trying to get out of there. So if you see damage, at least make him say that you can kind of look inside of whatever the packing is. You can cut this away pretty quickly, and you can see in there. If you see like a fork is run into there, you're going to want to note all that. You're going to want to take pictures and make them put that on the shipping dock so that they acknowledge that. Inside delivery, appointment, let me go to the appointment. Appointment is the freight company is going to call you and try to set up a time to where they can schedule delivery. That's what appointment is. There may be an additional charge for that. Sometimes if you don't answer, they will just show up. And I mean, this is freight companies. This is not something we're doing. And we do use good freight companies. We're using Estes Freight. We're using Old Dominion. So we're not going out there with the cheapest ones. These are reputable freight companies that do a very good job. We've been doing this a long time, and they're about as good as it gets. You know, freight companies have a tough job, and sometimes they don't always do that white glove service that we're after, what our expectations are. It's just not the reality of dealing with a tractor and trailer delivery. Inside delivery, if possible, the truck driver will remove the pallet from the curb up to the house or garage. They're not going to take it into your garage, more than likely. Of course, that's going to be up to the truck driver. So if you have that curb, that inside delivery, if it's possible for him to pull it up your curb, he'll take it up there to the top of your driveway or somewhere like that. He's using a pallet jack. If it's curb on your side, he might not be able to get that pallet jack over that curb. Pallet jacks are, you know, you can't have much of a threshold for that to get over, and it's just too difficult for him to pull it. He'll make that determination when he gets there, and that's something that you may have paid for, but he might not be able to do it. So that's something that keep in mind. And when you're looking at your driveway, think about you if you can pull a pallet jack up there. Guaranteed shipment. By a certain delivery date and time. It's not always available, and in most cases they'll hit it, but sometimes they don't. You're dealing with, you know, all kinds of variables, weather, traffic, things like that. So they're trying to do this, and they'll do the best they can. Most of our deliveries just go seamless. We never hear anything. So just goes through, and we ship a lot. So, but once in a while we'll have an issue, and it's usually something we're addressing right here. The prices for these services is going to vary depending on the freight company. You know, and there again, we don't have control over the freight company. We use as good a company as we can use, but we don't have any control over that. We base the freight charges on the information you give us. So if you turn out to not be a business and they do a home delivery and they charge extra for that or whatever it is, we're going to pass that on to you because we don't have any markup in there. We're not making any money on your freight end. So those are some of the things I wanted to address. Right now, these are packed up, getting ready to go out of here. So once you get them down to the ground, you can kind of move them. Like this is, I think, a Ohio basalt bird bath. This over here is one of the concrete fountains. There's 4 jars sitting in that one. But once you get it down to the ground, I'm going to show you how you move it. So we got a truck coming in right now to pick up a load, so you're going to hear that. This is a boulder fountain. You see I've got a dolly here, or utility cart. Once you get it down the ground, you can move it with this. Make sure you put some burlap in there or something to protect from scratching it up. But that's how we move stuff around here all the time. We use these utility carts, dollies, and that's how we move stuff. So you'll see when I go to pick it up, I put this foot right here, this hand right here, and then I set it up. You don't want it to get away from you. Same thing when I'm picking it up. I put this foot here, that keeps the dolly from rolling backwards. I grab the item that's on there and I push back at the same time. So once I get it back, I can transfer it. Now I'm going to do a jar. So I'm going to take this boulder off of here. And right now I'm going to grab this jar. It's kind of the same thing. I'm going to tilt the jar back, slide the dolly under it. Once I got it on there, I put my foot down there at the wheel and I tilt it all back. So that's the way you would break down your shipment, and you can kind of roll it up to your driveway or backyard, whatever you're doing, things like that. So just some helpful hints there. I want to address these delivery items and options. We do put this onto the email, but not everybody takes the time to read the email. So we're shooting a video, and hopefully we'll get guys like me that don't want to take the time to read it, but I will watch a video. So I want to address a few of those things. As always, if you have any questions, you can send us an email, boulderfountain@gmail.com. And but hopefully this covers some of the freight options and the way they kind of handle the freight. When we loaded these, we loaded them all by hand. We didn't use a forklift or skid steer or anything like that to load any of these. So we're using the dolly, we're wheeling them up into the pallet, putting them into the pallet. You take them all the same way. So be careful, don't let your jars bang together. There's 4 jars in that box right there. You don't want them banged together. We got packing between them. So on your end, treat it with your burlap, old blankets, things like that you can help protect when you're moving things. Hopefully this helps, and if you have any questions, let us know.